first class package for a priority customer.
Thanks, Sky.
Good morning. I came up with a few new face mask recipes.
Crystal Cove deal came through. Legal is drafting an eviction notice?
What if instead of giving up on the store, Rogers & Rogers uses our trademark strategy to relaunch their brand? It's time that we root for the underdog.
Here is to 10 years of lather and luxury.
Excuse me, I'm looking for the owner. Sky, you're the owner.
What can happen in 15 years? My ex finally decides to come back to Crystal Cove, and this is why.
Of all the properties, my first attempt at saving one just happens to be Sky's.
You two doing long distance?
We're strictly business.
My plan is to help elevate the Lather and Luxury line into a place of success.
Deal. Lather and Luxury is officially partnering with Rogers & Rogers.
We're gonna need you to create new limited edition collections, but the idea is to...
Entice people to keep coming back for more.
Exactly.
You two are just as cute together as you were in my home ec class.
What do you do for fun these days?
My work is fun. I get to go on hikes to find inspiration. I recall you thinking you were so slick, using that as an excuse to finally land our first kiss.
Lather and Luxury is so much more than a monetary transaction.
With something that you literally built with your bare hands. It's one of the many reasons I appreciate. See, I really know what I'm doing here.
Yeah, it's best to keep it in the bowl and not decorate the counter.
It's nice hanging out with my favorite partner again.
That's what I am, huh?
Always have been.
They're ready to sign whenever Sky is.
We cut our losses and we go ahead with the Bass Store eviction.
Eviction? You've been using my feelings to play me.
Got that all wrong.
You left without letting him explain, right? There's still a little something between you two. Maybe fate brought him here to give you guys a second chance.
I don't know that I can get Sky back, but I do know that I can make her dreams come true.
The Sky's the Limit collection. All handcrafted with our signature ingredients. Love. You did all this for me.
I never stop loving you. I'll never let you go.
Joining me is Jesse Hutch. He's an in-demand TV film actor. He's a director, he's a producer, he's a writer, and he's here today to talk about his successful career, his reoccurring role in Batwoman, and how does he stay fit? Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
I know fitness is a big part of who you are. Is that correct?
Oh, absolutely. Yes. Fitness is ongoing. It's a lifestyle. It's a choice. And I think it's always developing and changing, especially as you age. I think you always need to re-examine your health, right? Your spiritual health, mental health, emotional health, and your physical health. And I think that it's very important to make sure that you're working on all of those, because if you just ignore one, the others will suffer. You know what I mean? Like if you just remove your emotional health and you're like, it's all physical. I mean, it's hard to separate those, but believe it or not, people can do it, right? You can totally destroy one aspect of your health by ignoring another. So yes, for me though, physical is massive. On average, I would say I am working out at least minimum of 2 hours per day, between 5 to 6 days a week.
Yes, that's amazing. And now is this what you normally do for fitness, or you are increasing it because it's the roles that you're in? Like you're a stunt performer too. So for Batwoman, how do you prepare for that role?
Yeah, there's an aspect of, life changes, right? It ebbs and flows. I've had time in my life when, for example, when my wife was pregnant with one of our children, you change the order of importance. And although health still needs to be important, my gym time, it changes, it looks different, and that's okay. You need to have, I think, some grace on yourself as well to recognize where you're at. This is a totally out there example maybe, but maybe someone lost a loved one, right? If going to the gym is going to help you through that, then maybe go for it. If you need to just say, look, I can't go to the gym for a week or two, I need to take some time and more, do that. But yes, there's an aspect of, as an actor, can I be prepared ahead of time for that which I do not know that I need to be prepared for? For me, I love to be active. I'm naturally built that way. You have to have a look at your genes. You know, what's your body build? What's your body type? If you know, are you a bodybuilder where you're just going to be like a refrigerator with arms, or are you a runner where you just can go for days, and you can train towards that aspect? So for me, I would say about 6 months ago specifically, there is a specific job that may move forward. And if it did, it would be a period piece. It would be kind of a gladiator type vibe. I'd be playing a warrior, an Egyptian warrior. And so absolutely, I was like, hey, if this is mine at all, if I even have a chance, then I'm going to start training now. And so I did. And as I was training for that, Batwoman came along, and I felt like I was kind of already was ready for that, you know, because a lot of the times when you book a role, very rarely are they like, well, you have 5 months before we start filming. It's usually like, you booked it, you start tomorrow. Yeah. You know.
Yes. So it's really good to, as you said at the beginning, to mentally, physically, and spiritually fit, because it propels you. Now, your background is whitewater rafting, right? And I guess I would say that your fitness came first before acting. And do you think that's helped you in who you are, being so successful with, you know, with 3 children, a wife, like the whole balanced lifestyle?
Definitely important to look at your past to help you determine how you're going to move forward in the future, I think. And I mean, that applies to many things. That's a broad statement, but fitness is one of them. I mean, look at how you grew up, right? What influenced you? What were you a part of? Have you dropped that? Did you keep it? There's a lot of questions I think you can ask yourself, but at the same time, don't get down about what your past has been as well. Maybe you want to make some changes. Maybe it's time to set new goals, do something you've never done in your life before. Do it. I think that fitness especially always needs to be changing. If you go in and you do the same exercises the same time every week, your body's smart. It knows, it adjusts. And eventually you will plateau in how you build. I mean, you'll get bored mentally. You'll be like, oh, I know it's arm day, you know. You got to change it. You got to keep it alive, and it's fun. So, like, for example, I just shifted my workout regimen. I was on a program. It was a 61-day program, and I went through it twice. Fantastic program. I learned so much about my body and muscle structure and how it's built. And now I'm on a different program, which has a lot more lower sets, lower reps, but it's a lot of eccentric. So for example, you would do a pull-up, and instead of just dropping down and coming back up, a pull-up, you would go down 4 seconds. So 4 seconds, you go slow down, then you go up a quarter, then you go back down, then you go full. So just change it up, right? Add something different.
Do you have a favorite workout though? I mean, it's pretty intense what you're doing, what you're saying, telling the viewers, like but is there a favorite workout, Jesse?
A favorite workout. I mean, I think just the whole process is enjoyable for me. It's a time for me to relax, even though I'm working hard generally. It also helps me sort of just be present, not be everywhere else and thinking of what I need to do, just do what I'm doing right now. And that helps me for the rest of the day. So a lot of the times I like to get in there early. I think that's one of my favorite things, is to get it done in the morning. So although lately I've been going a little bit later. So let's say I'll start at 6 a.m. Normally I'll start at 5 a.m. maybe. So I get up at 4:30, start the workouts by 5, and I'm done and home in time to either see the kids and say goodbye, or maybe drive them to school. Again, just your schedule can fluctuate. Sometimes when I'm on set, I have to be ready that I'm going to go work out for 2 to 3 hours and then maybe be on set for 18 hours. So you got to mentally and emotionally gear up for that as well. But it always sets me up for success. I feel if I can do that first thing in the morning, you know, I get up, I work out, I have more energy, I'm more focused, I'm ready to go.
Well, you met 18 hours on set. That's long. And having your background, you know, so you're being physically fit and mentally, spiritually, it helps you So you're on your feet and you're on set for 18 hours. So that helps. What about
Mhm.
nutrition? Like hydration is important. And can you tell us about it?
Oh, I'm always learning so much.
Yeah.
I about, man, how long has it been now? 4 years or 5 that I still will eat fish, but I cut meat out, and that was just for health reasons. I had to, through a bunch of studies and tests, I had to cut that out for me. So you got to find what works for you. I think it's really important to listen to your body, because your body will tell you. For example, I love ice cream and I love chocolate. And if I eat chocolate tonight, I know tomorrow morning I'll probably have a bit of a stuffy nose because my body reacts that quickly. It swells up a little bit, doesn't really like that mixture of sugars and whatever it is. And so I need to be aware of that. And so things change and you just gotta roll with it. And for me, when I shifted my diet and really, it took me about 1.5 years, I pared my diet back to like white rices and very simple type foods. And then I would slowly introduce one meat, and then I would see what happens. And then I'd take it away, clean my system out, introduce a different one, and et cetera, et cetera. And so through that, I found that fish was really the only thing that I could have at this point that was allowing me to sort of maximize my health. And it's changed my life like 100%. I definitely have less swelling in my joints. There's no popping and clicking anymore. But again, that's personal, right? I'm not saying everyone should do that. I'm not saying it works for everybody. But there's an awareness that you need to pay attention to, because our bodies are so smart. Like I don't even think we have so many smart doctors and scientists, but I still don't think we've cracked it. I still think our bodies are doing things that we don't even get. And you just got to be aware of that.
Well, you play a variety of roles. I mean, science fiction to comedy to Hallmark movies to Batwoman. Like you're in demand, as I said at the beginning, and you play leading roles as well. So I would like to. Is it American Dreams? Was that your first, TV role?
No, it was definitely in the beginning, first 2 years though. Dark Angel was my first job ever.
And Smallville, there was Smallville too as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, just a variety. But tell us, about Batwoman. Like I know it's a series, but tell us your character. You play an agent, so.
I do. Yeah, I play Agent Russell Tavaroff in Batwoman, and Russell is married to his job. He's very committed. He has a reputation for being insensitive. He has a reputation for using force a lot quicker than I think the average agent would. He definitely has a closed past. It's never really brought up a lot, but I'd like to say that there's a lot of things that come out of that character that would lead you to question his past. Like, why is he like this? Who's he really after and why? And so it's definitely a darker character than, as you mentioned, some of the other roles. And I love it. I'm just having the best time. I mean, I'm very thankful. And every day that I go to work is a blessing. It really is. I mean, there's amazing people to work with. The cast and crew is so much fun. Everyone has this attitude of appreciation, and everybody's really talented. I mean, I get to just watch the crew do their thing, and it's amazing. The way they light, the sets they build, the action they put together, the way they move the cameras. It's fun. I mean, really, it's a comic book frame, and I get to step into it and do this job. And so I want to just bring my best, do my best. And as I like to say, you ride the wave until your surfboard breaks, right?
Yeah, well, Jesse.
Stay hydrated.
Yeah, we have water too. But working together is so important, and being thankful. You mentioned the word blessing. When you go to set, you're thankful for everyone because everyone's got a job to do. That's important in getting to create a great show or a TV series or a film or a movie.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Even though, I'm a guest star on Batwoman, but I believe that as an actor, I have this opportunity to always act like a lead, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
And what I think a lead actor is someone who absolutely shows up prepared. You have your dialogue in place. You know what you're doing with your character. You're ready to go, and you're also open to receiving what the other actors are going to give you, and you're open to receiving the direction that a director may give you. But even more importantly, I think you need to recognize the people you work with. And one of my biggest challenges right now during all the COVID mandates, especially, is a lot of people's faces are covered. And that's one of the most important things of a person, right? I love to see the faces. I love to get to know that person. And so that's what a call sheet is for to me. Like, yes, it shows us what scenes we're doing in the order, and there's a lot of good there. But the best is the crew. It's the people you're working with. And I'm constantly looking at that more than my lines, going, okay, who's the second AC, and that, I haven't seen that person before, who's in today, and trying to learn people's names so that I can show that respect and honor. But I think as a lead, you show up to set, and I have this opportunity to hopefully not take the temperature of the set and then adjust myself to it, but rather set the temperature, because sometimes there's days when maybe the camera op is going through something tough, and you see that they're off a little bit. And although that isn't directly work related, that's a human being. And so I have an opportunity to maybe connect with them. And if I've been connecting with them all along, I could say, hey, what's up? How's it going? How you doing? And sometimes they'll open up and share, and you have an opportunity to be a human being, and make a connection and let them know that they're seen, and that everything's going to be okay, or that you're there for them. And I think that's important on a film set. And that's the stuff you don't see, right? That's the stuff that doesn't get put on TV. It's the stuff that isn't necessarily in the limelight. And I think that's okay. I think that the majority of our work as people should almost be in the shadows, if that makes any sense. We don't always do things to go, hey, look what I did. I talked to that person, made them feel good. That's the stuff you do on your own time when nobody's looking. And I think that can totally ripple effect into the set and into your work. I mean, this works for every industry, right? I don't care even if you're a plumber, whatever, a doctor. If you address people and show care and concern and love to those people, I believe you can change the environment.
Well, you're so driven. And what drives you?
What drives me? Oh, that's a fantastic question. I would have to say faith. That's my main support system. My belief in God. I was raised Christian, and so the Bible is the book that I read the most. And so that is a springboard from which I run everything through. It's a filter. That's how I examine my marriage. It's the filter that I look through to raise my kids. How do I spend my money? And do I get it right all the time? Absolutely not. If anything, I realize how much work I need to do and how selfish I can be, and things that I need to improve and work on. And it's fantastic though, because it doesn't change with the wind. It doesn't change with the times. It just doesn't change with the fads. If faith is something for me that has been steady and consistent, even when I'm not. And so that's where I think everything springs from, because I'm constantly challenged to, love my neighbor. I mean, who does that? Do you do that? Do I do it? I have to ask these questions. My wife and I constantly talk about this. Like, what do we want our kids to grow up as? Do we want them caring about neighbors? How do we want them to spend their money? How do we want them to view people and care for other people? How do we how driven should they be? Should it all be performance based? We were literally just talking about that today, actually. My wife and I, we were like, okay, how can we continue to parent, but not make it performance based? And yet there is times that, you would like your children to perform well in something, but you need to find out what they want to perform well in, and how can you come alongside them or encourage them into that. And again, I don't always get it right. If anything, I'm constantly examining what I'm getting wrong.
Yeah, thank you again, Jesse. And this was a pleasure. And, it keeps going, right? Climbing that mountain. And when you're on top, but you're doing so well. So congratulations.
Thank you. Well, yeah, watch Batwoman.
Yes.
Well, and thank you so much for your kindness and all your questions. And I was just telling a buddy this morning, he's like, man, everything, it's going really good. And I said, well, like I always say, if anything ever goes well, it's God's fault.
Through the storm, right? It's a blessing. So thank you. So
yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I'll let you go. It's a wrap, as they say.
That's a wrap. Oh, fine. Great. Now I'm back to having no job. What's next?
Bye, Jesse.
Bye-bye. Have a great day.
Yeah, you too.